Work out just right.
All right.
Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, along with the Chad. I am Lyle and Chad. We're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart tonight:
I like it.
hot weather.
Oh wait, I don't like that one bit.
Yeah, me neither. Um, before we get,
I don't like that one bit.
what was that?
I hear a echo on your side.
How about if I get rid of it?
That would be a great idea, just like the heat.
I wished I could. I have one announcement tonight, Chad.
Announce it up, brother.
Let me see what it is. This is the Indiana Catfish Association tournament results from June 11th on Lake Schaefer and Lake Freeman in Monticello, Indiana. And first place went to Eric Jansen and Troy Longbones, 72.51 pounds with a 28.73 pound big fish. That's a heck of a weight.
I like it.
Yeah. Second place went to Newbie and Tim Messersmith with 38.06 pounds. Third place was Jarrett and Mike Mitchell, 35.17 pounds. Fourth place, Nick Hahn and Joey Enoch, 34.50 pounds. And fifth place went to Redmond and Cox, 33.49 pounds. Congratulations to all the winners. I see Holcomb and Breedlove got 11th, and Brad and Amber Beck's 22.4 pounds for 13th. And sounds like they had a pretty good day. That 28.73 pound big fish was that put Jansen and Longbones in the lead by quite a big amount.
Yeah, but it's not a bad some bad weights. What you was saying, especially right now, I've seen some other tournament results where first place was barely 30 pounds last
Well,
weekend. So
that basically over there where they're at is basically a channel cat tournament. Once in a while, somebody will sneak in with a flathead, but for the amount of tournaments that they have over there, them some pretty good weights on them.
well,
And that big fish may have been a flathead.
yeah, I'm familiar with the Indiana Catfish Association. I've fished a few of their tournaments before, so
Yeah, good bunch
every
of
once in a
guys.
while, they get down by my area. Every once in a while, hit the Ohio. So
Heck yeah, there you go. That'd give you a chance to jump in there and knock some out if you want to. So
yeah,
looks like we got a bunch of people in chat tonight. What do you say we go through them?
I like it. I believe we had Miss Jody and Avid, and I want to say it was Mike Irvin that was the first couple in here. But now I've got John Patrick Jr. We've got Hillbilly Hippie, Mr. Mike Sampson. What's up, buddy? Jason Lamb. Get down here where people started chatting a little bit more. We've got Downtown Ernie Brown, Big Wrench Catfishing, Miss Cindy Stokes. She is such a wonderful, wonderful lady, and she's from one of my favorite states, Missouri. Don't judge me. Oh, my screen flickered. Now I've lost my spot. I'm gonna blame Illinois on that one now.
You can.
All right. I think I'm almost back there. There we go. Sorry about that. We've got Crappie Day Fish on. Got Mr. Dave Funk, James Dockery Fishing.
Wow.
I'm like everybody else. I will not tell everybody to go sub to James Dockery Fishing because he doesn't like it. We got Sean Abney, Catfish Viking, Team Snagging Whiskers, Brian B. Catfishing, which I believe they're going live with no script later on tonight. If you guys tune into those guys, that'll be after Catfish and Crappie. Right after this, we've got the Weekend Angler, Joy Stewart, my beautiful wife Dee, Look Lady. Getting down here. We've got your little brother to your boy Troy, Mr. Gadget Fishing, Real and Virtual Outdoors. Troy, what's going on, my friend? Trophy Seekers Outdoors. We got Mr. Parker Pursuits. And There we go. We got Carmel Muncie, Bobcat Outdoors, and last but not least that I see. Oh, wait a minute. We got Fat Man in a Little Boat. And I have heard that Keith from Fishing and Stuff is in here. But again, my chat keeps bouncing on me, so it's been hard.
He is in here, and so's Trophy Seeker Outdoor and Team Snag and Whiskers, 922 Crappie Barbecue, Catfish Viking, Avid. Let's see, who else can I find?
We got
John
A.
Patrick Jr.,
McLaughlin.
John Patrick Jr., Tony Harrelson, Joey Stewart, Look Lady, I think you got him. Lance McCouguy, Ernie
Yeah.
Brown.
That's what's throwing me off right there, Lyle.
What's
Keith
that?
actually made it on time for once.
We're so happy that he joined us, though. Had a great show with Keith last week. A. McLaughlin. Hope I got that right.
Sure this is down.
That ought to be close.
See, I think we've got them all there
I think
as of
so.
right now.
I think so. Oh, James Dockery? I know you mentioned him, but James Dockery.
And I did want to mention again that I will not push like other people for them to go over and sub to his channel.
That's okay. I will.
How you doing tonight, Lyle?
I'm good. It's miserably hot here. The temperature was 98 a while ago with 107 heat index, and I took the dog out a while ago. And I usually feed her in the garage when we're eating and leave the door open when it's warm like this. So it's just too hot. I brought her bowl and everything right inside.
Don't blame you.
It's just crazy hot out there. And my daughter, I was telling you before the show, my daughter's air conditioner went out of her house. So they're trying to get it worked on tonight yet. So hopefully they get that fixed because it's not going to be any better. We look like at least 2 weeks of this. I forgot what day I told you, but one day next week they're predicting 99, so it's probably going to hit 100 that day.
Well, one, we can blame Creole catfishing for that. I've asked him to keep that down his way. Lyle, it got to 91 here with a heat index of 109. And it makes me wonder because, August is typically the hottest month of the year. And I was talking to somebody earlier the last time that this happened. August was actually a cooler month. And I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. And if we have a couple weeks of it now, maybe we'll have a brief reprieve through it. I know they cut and raked and baled the hay there's a field behind my house, and they cut it Saturday, I believe it was, and they raked and baled it today. And I wouldn't want to be leaving it. I wouldn't want to stack it up too close together because these humid days like this, cause that stuff to catch on fire. It's all mine, huh, Michelle?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, we didn't have big round bales like we got now, and we hauled hay for a lot less than you might think. The cheapest I ever hauled hay for was a half-cent a bale. It went up shortly after I was big enough to do that, where you made 2 or 3 cents a bale. But that's a lot of work for a very little amount of money. And being the youngest, whatever you want to call it, I always was on top of the truck stacking and in the top of the barn stacking. It's the hottest 2 places you could possibly be and get the most work. So these kids today would do what we did for what we did it for. They wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't. They're too used to getting stuff handed to them. But the last time I hauled any hay at all, I was older, and I think they was paying like a quarter a bale then. I thought, holy crap, I could have got that. But we worked on crews. They'd haul 4,000 or 5,000 bales a night. They'd take 3 or 4 trucks in and trailers behind the trucks, and there'd be a crew on each one of them. You go in and you'd haul them bales out there that night. And you didn't want to be out there in the daytime. So,
no.
it was pretty tough sledding, but
Say, this thing here makes me want to go nocturnal. That's for sure.
roll them bales over and check, because every once in a while there'll be a snake's head snapping back at you every once in a while. I do not mean a covered wagon, Josh.
Oh, out in that West Texas town of El Paso. Anyway,
Yeah, there we go.
but yeah, man, the heat is definitely creeping up. Spawn's on.
The
What do you
spawn's
do?
on. Fish is not biting like they're supposed to. And Danny Stone got a really good fish the other night.
He did.
And Epic caught a couple of decent fish. Um, but yeah, the whole month of June, I usually just kind of take off. That's for pan fishing and something you've been doing a lot of, bait fishing.
Bait fishing.
It's a perfect time to get bait. If the catfishing's no good, you can stock it up, freeze it, however you prefer to keep it live, however you prefer to do it. Um, but this is a great time to do all that stuff and get ahead of the game for when they do start. And I think they went on a little early this year, so I'm thinking they'll probably come off a week or two early.
I think you're probably right with them going in a lot of areas about a week or so early, but obviously they don't all spawn at the same time. But I've
High
definitely
percentage of
seen,
it.
yeah, I've definitely seen the slowdown over the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's always slow for me, but some of these other people as well
Yeah,
with the fish. So that's kind of what I turned into. Is it's bait season.
it is, and you've been knocking it out. You've been tearing up them moon eye, and I seen Jason was catching some today too. So good
Told him
for him.
everything. Told him everything I knew.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, took me about
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Now I know. Are you using crickets and catching them in rocks?
Right along the rock line is what I've been finding them at up at the dam. But crickets and waxworms is what I was using.
Now you do know that you can take them lightweight rods like that and drift them with your boat right along them spots and just kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually talked to a buddy of mine, and they actually fished. I think it was last Saturday, and they were finding them right off of the barge seam lines. They were catching moon eye and skipjack, both right off every barge that they went to.
I think that I've told this many times, but I'll tell it again. For moon eye, usually we never was in an area except for fishing in those areas where they was available. So my favorite way to get them was to find an old barge that had been set in a long time and a cast net, and on the downstream side of it, throw that cast net up to where it just touched the barge, because that's as far up underneath of it as you could get. And right at the end of them, there's always be if one or two or sometime five or six in a net. But wait for a little while and go back and hit that same barge again if you found them there. And do every barge that we could tell that had been set in a while. There's Richard Ward. Glad to have you in here, Richard, which reminds me, for any of the military personnel that watch our show, past or present, then go to the Catfish Weekly group page. We are still signing up for the 2 rod holders that Richard made that we're going to be giving away July 4th right here on Catfish Weekly. You just sign up and leave your last rank and date in there. That way we know that I should never have to say that it had to be legit, but you do have to say it. You just do.
Oh yeah.
And get signed up for that. Somebody's going to win a pair of those, and Richard specifically wanted them to go to military people. I got that 100%. They're the most important natural resource that we have in these United States of America. So get signed up, and we're going to draw a name out, and somebody will win them July 4th right here on the show.
Sounds like a great time to me.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, be a lot of fun right before you go out and watch all your fireworks being shot off.
And that's right. Well, remember what it's for.
That's exactly right.
These type of holidays. But no, I've been enjoying it. We went out to was it Friday night? Saturday night? I think it was Friday night. and just hammered the bluegill. We were catching them left and right, getting bluegill to go catch flathead. And we went to a couple different spots. And the first spot we went to, I think maybe you've seen the picture that I posted of that monster that I caught. Got two of them little fellas. One was a little bit bigger than that one, trying to catch bluegill down there, or creek chubs, or something like that, and just see what we could catch. And man, like you said, this is the time right now where boat maintenance and stocking up on bait, filling your bait up, your bait coolers up, your bait tanks. I need to get this bait tank out here set up so I can keep them bluegill alive. But
I worry about keeping bait tanks this kind of temperatures. If you have a basement, you're probably all right. If you are outside underneath a shade tree, you might be all right. But if I was going to have one, I would have the availability of frozen milk jugs or something in case you needed to put them in there, maybe one every afternoon or only on the days that it reaches a certain temperature or humidity level, because there ain't nothing smells any worse than a bunch of bait in the tank goes bad, unless it's leaving them in your live well or cooler in your boat and forgetting about a 100-degree day.
No, I definitely agree. When you're setting that kind of stuff up, setting them up out in the open with no cover, not a good idea.
Like James Dockery says, or a covered hot tub works great too.
Yeah, I've heard that hot tub. It's really good.
I don't know what keeps her from killing him.
I think it was in the prenup.
It must have been. Hey, there's Mr. Big Fishing.
We've got scouting new areas, maintenance on equipment, and new line on reels. Absolutely.
I wonder how much scouting on new areas is going to take place with the gas at $5 to whatever it is a gallon.
And I don't know. When I get out there with my boat, I don't even think about it.
You can't think about it. If you thought about it, you wouldn't do it.
That's true.
I think that this gas prices is going to put a damper in a lot of people's vacations this year. I think it's going to put a damper in a lot of people's fishing. Cindy and I prefer to fish through the week and let the people that can't through the week have the weekends, and unless they're just really biting good. But we haven't been out much since this gas got so high. I had sticker shock when I paid $4.19 a gallon for it in Wisconsin when we was up there, and that was nothing. Little did we know it was going to get to be where it's at. So, but at some point you just got to say, hey, and go ahead and bite the bullet, put gas in it, and go on, because you can only sit home for so long and only sit in the house for so long. But I'm not minding it too bad when the temperature's up as hot as it is. Unlike Dockery, who will fish in any kind of weather for anything.
John Boys, there is on the Catfish Weekly Facebook page, there is a post that is pinned to the top. All you got to do is ask people to go in there, put your name and your last rank. If you do not have Facebook, how are we having them do that, Lyle?
Send it to me or you, and
okay.
Email us, either one, and we can put it up there for them.
So, John, I'm not sure if you do have Facebook or not. If not, you have my number. Just text me that information, and I'll get it added. See, Mr. Kevin Palmetto Cats has made it in. Stonefly 71, Want to Be Outdoors, Mr. Matt. Quiet Man Curtis, Jay Fox Hunter.
Like
Shanti. I think this is right. There'll be definitely people hitting the banks a lot more as well.
Yeah, I think so too. And James and I was talking here a while back. We have a dock on Pomme de Terre, which is the closest lake to me. Actually, it's probably 25 minutes or 20 minutes, and I can go over there, and for $2, I can fish off the docks. And there, people catch crappie there year round. So, if I wanted to fish, I could go out and sit on that dock. They're covered docks, so you have some shade. But when it's this hot, I'm just not interested. And you still got to get them fish home and get them cleaned and get them home. And it just needs to cool down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of being on the water by daybreak, fishing until around maybe 10 to 11 o'clock, and I want to be either headed back or loading my boat by 11 o'clock in the morning.
No later than noon.
And exactly, and then if not going out in the evening, I want to do a lot more evening fishing this year than I have in the past. I'm finally starting to get the lighting and stuff like that to be out on the boat.
Yeah.
Make myself feel comfortable.
That's definitely the coolest time. There's Erwin, the paid tourist, joining us. He's at work, getting loads out. Some of the best fish I ever caught was at night, but not all of them. A lot of them was caught during the daytime too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just when it gets miserably hot like this, it's more comfortable. And if there's any kind of a breeze at all, if it's still hot at night. I mean, hell, it's 93 degrees here right now. 93.
Well, time at night, yeah, you get that dead, stale air.
Yep.
And it just sits there.
Yep, that's a fact. John Patrick wants to know, where's your big boat, Chad?
The big boat is currently still sitting in the storage and probably going to get a for sale sign put on it before long, because I just don't have the money to get it to where I want. I don't have the trust in it, being an older boat, and I'll be honest, I'm not a very good mechanic. I've got friends that are great mechanics, but if they're not on the boat with me,
don't do you much good, does it?
You don't do me much good. And then when you have a 70-gallon tank at $5 and something a gallon, it really turns me against taking that boat out. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's the other big thing.
Wow.
It's a great looking boat. Yeah, it's a great looking boat until you start thinking, when it was $2.50, $3 a gallon even, you're like, man, that's quite a bit of money, but I could do it. And when it starts hitting $5 a gallon at, 70 gallons. Whew.
How big a motor is that got?
It's got a 152 stroke Johnson. Was it yeah, it's a Johnson. I'm pretty sure. So it'd be a scoot and boogie, but
yeah, I'm sure.
Not for very long, not for very many miles.
70-gallon fuel tank.
David, I mean, it's an offshore boat. It's built for the big lakes and out in the Gulf and stuff like that. So to be able to go out there, you have to have some kind of big tank.
Yeah.
The boat is it's a Angler 204, so it's a 20-foot boat, plus, a couple feet for the motor. So it's about 21 and a half total feet.
Man. It's a decent boat. I like the boat. I really do.
Oh, it's in great shape. Like I said, I want to make sure that I'm already bad enough. I've already ran out of gas a couple times since I owned my other boat. I don't want to have other issues and I'll be able to get back. So,
oh man,
just being able to haul that kind of a boat, to where we fish all over. So I can haul it with my truck. It's just, man, trying to haul that to places that we fish like South Carolina, Bama, and all that.
Oh,
the gas mileage
just eats you alive.
It's too much.
Just eats you alive. Somebody's saying hello to Betty. I haven't seen her in here yet, but I did send her a picture of my dinner tonight, so she knew I had potato salad for dinner. I mean,
tater salad last night.
You did?
I did. I had New York strips and tater salad. Baked beans for dinner last night.
I like both, tater salad and New York strips.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with them. But Betty has a good-looking dinner, too, but she didn't have any tater salad, which I know she dearly likes. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I said I know she does, too. I was just reading some of the comments, big boat, and even entertaining Parker Pursuit's comment. When we're coming back down, I don't know if we'll make another trip this summer. We may try to make one more during the summer down to Bama. Just depends on the gas prices and how things go. But we do have another trip planned. Hopefully, nothing changes that back down in November. So the first week of November, we'll for sure be down there. So
It just I'm afraid to make a shot at what fuel prices are going to be like.
can't even
No,
remotely guess.
no, you can't, because you don't want to be right, but you don't want to be off too far either, because if you're planning any trips, you got to prepare for it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're looking at right now. You looked at some of the trips we planned. That really dug into the rest of the year with our savings
Yeah,
and stuff like that. We'd
absolutely.
already planned our Virginia and Wiley trip and had already paid for it when the gas started just skyrocketing.
Yeah,
We weren't going to not go to Madison,
yeah,
to Wisconsin. We'd already planned that one and had it all set up. And it kind of nailed us for quite a bit there. And now we're looking at, what do we do from here on out through the summer? And that's exactly what I did last week. Like you just said, I went down and was talking to the bait shop owner down there by Meldall at the dam, and he was like, "Yeah, they're tearing up the moon eye right now." So I was like, "You know what? Give me a bunch of crickets and a bunch of mealworms or waxworms." And I went down there the very next morning, and I think me and my buddy Bill went down there the first day, caught 90 of them in like 3.5 hours. No, the first day I went down was the ladies tournament.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like I'm only going to go down there for about 2 hours, and it was so foggy. I caught like 3 in about the first hour and a half I was there, and as soon as that fog lifted, right about 8 o'clock when D went live, got 12 of them in like 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm starting to figure them out, but I had to pack up, and I was like, well, I'll come back down in the morning. That next morning is when we caught 90 of them in like 3 hours.
Wow. Well,
It was fish every 2 minutes. But I was like, you know what? This is the time that we need to be doing this.
That's right.
Stocking up on moon eye, trying to find the skipjack, freeze them up, vacuum seal them, and get ready for the rest of summer.
That's exactly right, because you're not going to be able to afford to buy much bait. By the
No,
time you buy the cash, you can't
no.
do it.
You look at skipjack alone, and that's the cheapest place that I know of is like $6 a piece. So,
well, it costs them guys more to go out and get them.
Yeah.
They got to buy fuel for their boats and for their truck and upkeep and blah, blah, blah. It never ends. It just never does. Net Morgan has made it in. Tom has made it in.
I mean, I haven't even priced the moon, how much moon I are, but you think I've got.
I don't think they sell them.
90. Well, most time they don't ever have it in. Most of the bait shops around here have it, but they don't ever have it in.
Nobody around here's ever had it.
100, 140. So we caught about 160 of them in the 2.5 days that I fished it.
That's a lot.
So, the one day I split it down the middle with my buddy Bill. The other day was 2 days were by myself. So I've got quite a bit of that, in the freezer. Now it's trying to get on skipjack, and we'll get tank set up, get some bluegill for a flathead, and
you might as well. Like I say, the whole month of June is the perfect time to get bait, because it's catfishing is usually not very good. If you don't fish for crappie and bluegill and stuff like that, when the catfish are not biting, then you're kind of in trouble, because it's just. I'm not saying you can't catch them. It's just a struggle, and with gas prices and stuff the way it is, if you go out, you want to be successful.
Yeah.
So now's the perfect time to get that kind of stuff. Get it done. And
and that's the thing I like too, Lyle. Is if you stock up now, and you fill your tanks and your freezer up, how often do you go out to fish with no bait, and you have to spend sometimes a couple hours trying to find bait? I don't like that.
No, I don't either. Especially, we got places like Ozark we can usually get usually get bait. Not every time though. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no place that's absolute. There's just not a absolute place. Catfish Bandit says $2 can of worms and catch bluegill all day. That's a
That's
fact.
right.
But I haven't seen any $2 worms for a long time. They're like $3.75 or something now.
Yeah. If I
There's
can, and that's the other, my yard's full of worms. I'll go out
mine
and
is too.
I'll go out and get a can full of friggin' red worms. As many night crawlers as I've dumped in my yard over the last 8 years that we've lived here. I'm sure I've got a nice population of those around here somewhere. So
I've got giant ones in my yard, big old earthworms. They're like night crawlers, but I don't think they're night crawlers. But they're a foot long. Some of them,
oh yeah,
great big ones. And after a rain, you can go out there and pick them up out of the driveway. I've picked them up off the street, crossing the street. The dog, she picks them up, but she destroys them when she picks them up. But
that's one thing I miss. My aunt used to live 2 houses down from an old bait shop, and they had so many night crawlers. When we were a kid, we would take a 5-gallon bucket after the rain and go down there and just pick them up. Just fill half the bucket up, and you'd be tons of them. We made worm beds and all that kind of stuff.
Damn River Boy says another great day out on the water for him today. Got over 500 pounds of blue cat.
Wow, what a day!
That is a day.
I mean, that's like 10 fish for me. But
yeah, I'm thinking so.
okay,
Wow, that's a lot.
it's a ton of fish. Some good fishing right there.
Yeah, it is. So
yeah, we will say that you could always build a worm shocker and get all the worms you want. Just go over to the Weekend Anglers channel, and he built one, and you get to watch him shock himself.
I would love to see that. I must have somehow. I don't know how.
I screen recorded it and put it on loop. When I'm feeling down about myself, I just go and turn it on, and it's almost as good as the Dockery wax.
I will say, my buddy Keith that lives up outside of Columbia, he gets fast orange hand soap, mixes it up with water in a bucket, and pours that out there, and the acid or whatever's in them, it'll run them worms right up out of the.
Really?
Oh yeah. Mixes it up. He gets like a 5-gallon bucket full and puts a bunch of that stuff in there and stirs it all up and puts water in there with it. And pours that on the ground. If they're in there, it'll run them right out of the ground.
I've never heard of that before.
Give it a try sometime. If you're in that worm area, it'll bring them right to the top.
You'll see that. I'll have it all over my yard here.
Probably be little white spots wherever you pour it.
I'll kill all my grass, and at least I want it to mow.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you kill it, you ain't got to mow it. I used to threaten to. We used to have big yards and didn't have a riding lawnmower. Cindy and I first got married, and I used to threaten to asphalt the whole yard and paint it green just so I didn't have to mow the damn thing. But now I don't mind it near as much. Other than it's hot. There's Junior Proctor. Holy crap, Junior. You've been busy, Junior. We haven't seen you in here for a while. Glad to have you back.
Fishing with the Squirrels made it in, Rod Knockers. Mark from Catfish and Crappie. I know you said we weren't going to say hi to him tonight, but I will. He's my 15th favorite brother.
15th favorite?
Gail Hayslip made it in.
I know that Junior just got him a pontoon boat. I find that a little strange, but I know that he's doing it for different reasons. I just don't like them. I don't like them for me. Let me put it that way. Because fishing's serious. If I go fishing, I want to make sure that I get where I'm going fast as I can and get back. And not that some pontoons aren't real fast, but most of them aren't.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, man. Wow. That's hard to take right there.
But Bullock made it in. Brad Becks.
I just don't. I'm fishing. I don't need a bunch of people in there with me. One or two people. That's about all. I
just like to be able to walk around.
I can walk around my boat.
Yeah, but you're tiny. I mean, look at the wonders that you do with a sleigh.
What?
I mean, look at the wonders you do with a sleigh every December. It amazes me. But for a guy like me, I need a little bit of.
That's how you fix that.
Hey, Mark Jr. Oh, was it something I said? But I mean, that's one thing about about a pontoon is there is so much room to move around, and
Yeah. I don't
we were
want to
talking
go
about this
down the
weekend.
road either.
Yeah, they're a little.
Down the road.
They don't like wind of any aspect.
Well, that's true. And in the wind, I've watched guys that didn't know how to load them things at boat ramps on windy days, and you'd sit there and laugh at them for 45 minutes, and then it ceases to be funny because they won't get out of your way, and they can't. They don't know how to load them. I mean, they don't know how.
I gotta tell you something happened at the boat ramp this weekend.
All right.
And I pulled up Lyle and I said I should get my camera out, and I didn't. There's a pleasure boater, big old pleasure boat putting on the trailer, and the guy's all leaned over the front. I looked away and looked back, and he was laying down on the ground in the water. I missed it. I missed the fall. He got up and he was looking around. There wasn't hardly anybody there, but
that's the first thing you do when you do something dumb like that. You get up and you look around and see who's seen you.
I wish I'd have been sitting there recording.
Yeah, no kid, he'd have probably offered you money to get that.
Like, sorry, you're getting views. Anyway.
I hear you, Junior. I hear you. I just, although I do have a lot of grandkids now, it'd probably be all right, but I just don't have a desire for one.
I love that kid.
Yeah. Thanks, Caitlin.
Oh man,
there's hooks and hammocks.
Yeah.
I thought they was on vacation somewhere.
They are on vacation. They start hiking tomorrow, I think it is. They got. I give them props. They're doing something that it take me all year to do. They're doing a 42-mile hike.
Yeah, I ain't never gonna do one. I don't have no desire to do none of that. In fact, I'm not going to. About as far a hike as I'm going to is up and down the boat ramp or out to the mailbox and back.
I'll say, I think we could get you on ice in a kayak before we'll do a 42-mile hike.
I'm probably not going to do that either. Oh man, if I was you guys' age though, I probably would try a kayak, but I probably ain't gonna get on that ice ever. I just don't have no desire for that whatsoever. If it cracked one time, I just about fill my laundry. I'm afraid.
I think I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it just don't make sense. So, yeah, that's probably never going to happen. But a kayak I might have done once. I done a canoe one time. They couldn't keep the damn thing uprighted, and
Yeah.
I got sick of that pretty damn quick because I wanted to fish, and by the time it was over, we didn't have no gear left or nothing else. You lost everything you took with you. So I never got back in another one after that.
I had a canoe and I sold it the year before last. So, or was it last? Yeah, I think it was the year before last I sold it. So I had a 2-person canoe, and I'm with you, trying to keep that upright while I'm doing anything else.
I don't think there's a possible way that you could stand up in a canoe. I don't think.
Not when you're as top heavy as I am.
I understand. But I'm surprised that some of the guys can actually stand up in them kayaks. I'm just not going to do it. I've even tried to figure out ways that I could justify getting in one. But I just can't.
I'd use the kayak, but you wouldn't see me trying to stand up in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely not. There's Tim Molina.
What's up, Tim? Oh, buddy.
Glad to see him back into chat tonight. Always a pleasure. There is Northwest Missouri Fishing and Whisker Pig Fishing. Talked to him the other day. He's going to be on our show one of these days. We haven't got a date figured out yet, but it's going to happen. So we're excited about that. He'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds great to me.
Hey, Wolf Outdoors.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that would be decent with a kayak this time of year. Talking about because we need to reel it back in. I'm gonna reel you back in. We're talking about the heat and bait. What we should be doing right now. Get on that bait. But I think kayaks would be great for getting into them shady spots where your freaking boat can't go.
Well, yeah, they'll get in the back in the shallow back of coves, but where it's shallow or through riffles and things like that you can't take a regular boat. You'll get in places to catch bluegill and skipjack and crappie and whatever you're allowed to use in your state, where you can't get with a even with a jet. And that's something else I don't have a desire for. But they will go in shallow water, but they won't go in shallow water as a kayaker will.
Oh yeah,
Them things will go in almost no water. And they're light enough. If you go through a riffle in a small river or creek, you just get a hold of it and drag it through and crawl back in it and go another round. So
yeah, dragging one of them is a lot easier than dragging a boat that's stuck.
If you've ever had a boat stuck and had to get out and push it around, it's not that much fun.
No, it's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
I mean, I've never done it to my own boat, but I
have.
I had to help other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it to mine, and it's a terrible pain. One of the big problems is you don't know what you're stepping off in.
No.
Or how far it's going to be before it stops going down. So yeah.
Yeah, if you're like my luck, it's either you're stepping out onto all kinds of rocks with different angles that you break your ankle, or you're stepping off into that black soot, silt bottom that you go up to your freaking knees.
Yeah, there's no bottom to that a lot of times. Kind of like Cherokee Lake.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's a bottom to that.
There ain't no way I'd want to get out and try to walk through that.
No, I don't know what you do if you had to get out of your boat and try to do something with that, because after trying to stick them shallow water anchors in there, and you could put 8 foot of it underneath the water, and the water's only 2 foot deep to start with, so you're sticking the pole in 6 foot of that muck. Yeah. Before it ever stopped going down enough that you put a 4 foot extension on the 8 foot piece, just so you could set where you wanted to be. Chad doesn't get boat stuck because he runs out of gas first.
It only happened once or twice.
There's Jody in here.
What's up, Jody? But yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad I was able to get that out for you without having to get in the water.
Yeah, me too. And then I ended up losing it the next day anyhow. So it just works out that way once in a while.
I'd do it again for you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, but we'll have the 12 footers put together before we crawl in the boat next time, and there won't be no more of that. And I'm ordering the top pieces that's got the handle to where it won't slip over top of them rings again. That'll never happen again. So you learn some valuable lessons.
Yeah.
I was trying to edit some video from. I got a lot of video from up there, but it's just not very good. It got a lot of wind noise and stuff in it was said shouldn't have been said. But the biggest problem we had was I didn't realize how important it was to move your net person around to where they're not between you and the camera. Cindy and I both was in the wrong position on a lot of fish that we netted, and all you could see is the net. You know what I mean? But I told her today when we do that, next time we're out, we'll change positions, and the net guy will be to the back of the boat, and whoever's reeling the fish in will be up closer to the camera. It's just something you learn from not doing it in a while. You forget, and but yeah, I was blown away with how good some of the audio was that we had up there, other than the wind noise. We had a couple of days. It's pretty windy up there.
Oh yeah.
But Captain Morgan, huh, imagine that. I like that name.
Should have known that would get your attention.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of fun. Caught a lot of fish, and but the videos, some of it is decent, some of it's just not that good. Not enough I can put together a decent thing. I might be able to get some bloopers or something out of, and we'll see how that works. But I've
So
got a lot of it edited out.
I know I have video, a little bit of you guys where we were watching you guys get that triple, and
Yeah,
I plan on as soon as I ever get time, because I've got a lot as well to try to put together for that. I will put that in there. I just got to figure out how to, beep, beep, beep.
I got to find that audio thing where you can bleep that out, because
Well,
there'd be a lot of it.
I'm pretty sure
Somebody in our boat had a potty mouth. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to sound like Morse code on that clip that I got of you guys.
Oh man, when things get crazy, they get crazy.
They do.
That's just the way it is. But yeah, there's quite a bit of that with us, but it's always kind of been that way. When we're live, we watch it, but if it's recorded, well, you can edit that out. Yeah, you can edit that out. Well, there comes a point in time that there's only so much you can do with editing and have content.
Well, you can always.
And that's what I would tell Cindy. I'd say, man, I got to take a leak. And I'd forget the camera was on. I'd get a bucket and I'd do my business. And she said, you're going to have to edit that out. Yeah, I know. But every time you go to do that, a fish would hit. It's always. So it was nuts. But the amount of fish we caught didn't matter. We just caught tons and tons of them.
That's all that really matters. But we can always take the volume down off of that part and just do video or audio over it, And
I thought it was about playing a song on some of it. Might be better off, but we did have wonderful time up there. We had some boat trouble, but you just deal with it and go on. You get the parts and you fix it. So it is
nothing
what
wrong
it
with
is.
that.
No, we had, like I say, it was a great trip. Can't wait till next year, and we'll go again.
I'm with you.
So, what do you got planned for the week coming up?
I plan on trying not to go outside at all this week. I do have to go to work every day, but it's going to be mid to upper 90s all week.
Yeah.
And then this weekend is not supposed to be as bad. I think high of like 80 both days, Saturday and Sunday, and then it jumps back up next week. But,
yeah,
I see my buddy J-Dog out there tearing the moon eye up again today, and I was like, should have just called in sick.
Yeah, I watched him a little bit do some of that, and he was tearing them up. I seen the other day he had his son Mason out, and they was trying to catch bluegill. I don't know if they ever caught him that day or not. Didn't while I was watching, but he's got the same plan of attack. Is right now's the time to do that. So I hope that's what everybody's planning on doing.
Yeah.
Something that we can do while we're thinking about it. I have 2 packs of D&L sinkers, snake weights, 2 to a pack that we want to give away tonight. We can go ahead and get started on that.
It's so interesting, Lyle, is I already had it ready to go.
Sweet. There you go. You guys
I'm making it difficult tonight. Just like this weather is making it difficult on me. I want everybody to sweat.
It's going to be miserable. It's just going to be miserable. So go ahead and hashtag Dragon Weights. Get that in. and we'll give a couple of these packages away. Rod Knocker says, all day on the boat yesterday, it was 112 heat index, ruined me
Goodness.
all day today. I'll bet that's right.
Yeah, like I told, 109 degrees is the highest I've seen the heat index here. That's with humidity. When you're at 90 and home, it adds another almost 20 degrees based off the humidity.
That's exactly right. Matt, I haven't put a reel on it yet. It's just sitting here in my rod rack.
Oh, let's see.
I'm going to probably go down to the creek and take a fly rod here in a day or two. I got to wait. I'm not sure when I'm going to go. I don't. The problem is this creek is either running bank full or it doesn't have any current in it or there's no water or something all the time. So I haven't been out. I haven't been out anywhere to go check it. But the next time I go out, I'll go check it and see. If there's no water running through, there's no sense even doing that. So, but I hope that I can slack up on mowing my grass a little bit for a while, but I doubt it.
I don't know. I know I can tell you I will not be mowing my grass any this week. And if the city don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah. I'll be mowing mine. I know I will. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be 5 or 7 day stint. I made it 7 last time, but it clumped up real bad, so we'll see.
Let's see.
For those of you that are not familiar, Mark will be going on live right after us with the Catfish and Crappie podcast. And make sure you tune in for that.
He's got Tara Lindsay on tonight with him.
He does. Yep, he sure does.
Had the pleasure of meeting Tara up at Mendota as well with Luke, and
yep,
awesome young lady. Very, very fun angler to watch.
High energy.
Yes, very much.
Very high energy. Yep. Should be a great show.
Yeah, I would agree. Let's see. All right, we are getting going on that, Mr. Lyle. We've got 36 entries. We'll give that about 3 more minutes or so. What do you say?
That's good.
All right. So when do you think, though, that most catfish come off the spawn? I've always heard July 4th is a good marker.
That's a good time they generally start pulling off is the weekend of July 4th as an average. This year, I think they went on 1 to 2 weeks early, so I think they're going to be coming off a week or so early.
I don't think anybody will argue with that.
It just seems to me like they went on a couple of weeks early this year. So, and of course, they don't all spawn at the same time, but I think a high percentage of them do. And I know it has to do with something to do with the moon phase, they claim, and water temperature is the big thing that I watch. Once that water temperature reaches 65, 70 degrees, and they're going to be going on real quick.
Now, do you think that's relative to area, though, as far as water temps? Like some of the guys up north, I'm sure have, some cooler temperatures of water.
And they usually go on after we do, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yours is typically a little right after? That makes sense.
Yeah. Now, channel cats go on before the 4 blues and flatheads, so that's how come that they was spawning last month, or getting ready to. They didn't actually start, but they didn't doing something because we caught a lot of them that was beat up pretty bad. And the water temperature is a lot cooler up there than it was here, but it was still very warm up there, especially in that 2 foot of water.
Let's see, I want to reshare this. I've got Mr. Bill saying that some people have it spelled incorrectly. There is no S, so dragging weight. If you did not put it in correctly, go ahead and go back and fix that real quick.
And if you can't remember, just go ahead and redo it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like Lyle and I and forgetful, just go ahead and re-put it back in there.
There'll be no color preferences because we have some green ones in, and since I have a green screen, you can't see them if I hold them up. But we got orange ones and blue ones and green ones, and these are 2-ounce dragon weights, and they come 2 to a package. So we'll be shipping those out tomorrow.
Sounds like an awesome plan.
Mike Irwin just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Mike.
Okay, so Don R and Mr. Matt Wannabe had it wrong. I see Matt corrected his. Don R, if you have not redone yours, go ahead and do that. We will pull that and trigger here in just a second. I'm having technical difficulty with the app, y'all. That's why I'm like, okay. Chad's favorite YouTube show will be on at 10:15, right after Mark from Catfish and Crappie, who is next with Miss Tara Lindsay, followed by the No Script crew at 10:15. I go to bed at 10:14, so it's okay. That's if I can stay awake till 10 anyway. All right. We say we get ready to give this a pull.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Go back over here and my screen here. Here we go.
I think it said 41 entries. That's a pretty good number.
We got 44. Somebody squeaked right in there at the very end. Matt from Wannabe Outdoors.
Congratulations, Matt. Be sure to. I don't know if I got you. I still got your address or not. That don't hurt. Just send me a message with it. I should have it, but just to make sure, go ahead and send it to me anyhow.
Matt is such a wiener.
He's a wiener tonight.
That's right.
We'll give it a couple minutes here for anybody that didn't get entered in the first one. Can get entered in the second one. And we'll get that baby shipped out tomorrow. And we've got enough for what looks to be one more week of D&L sinkers. And then we'll be moving on to something else.
So we're going to get ready to pull one more time, right?
That's correct.
So if you did not, get that hashtag in there. Do it now. We have one more minute, and we will draw the second winner. There's Miss Chrissy Brown. What's going on,
hey, Chrissy?
My dear friend? Okay. I'm going to share this back again. Here. All right, we're going to get ready to draw this one more time. Last chance, last chance. There's LG Bass. What's going on, my friend? Gray Wolf Outdoors. Here we go. The Bullock Experience. Congratulations, Kelly.
Yep, just send me your shipping address, Kelly, and I'll get that baby shipped right out to you tomorrow. Any closing statements tonight, Chadwick?
Man, I hope everybody, seriously, there's a lot of heat and stuff going on through the Midwest and over towards the East Coast. Stay hydrated, stay cool as much as you can. You know, don't go out there and do nothing silly and get yourself hurt. This is not a good time to do that. So
that's exactly right. Get lots of water. Take lots with you.
And don't forget your sunscreen.
Absolutely, because you don't want no issues with that. And as hot as it's going to be, that sun's going to be blistering you. So make sure you put lots of it on. Use it often and liberal. Lots of do.
Water. Drink water.
You have a guest on the bake shop this week?
It's a little early. It's not like Thursday afternoon yet, so I couldn't tell you.
Jeremy Albritton will be our guest on Panfish Nation Thursday night after the bait shop. Be sure to tune in for that. We're going to have a great show with him. Be lots of fun. So be sure to check us out, and then we'll be back here next Monday night on Catfish Weekly. Night, everybody.
See you all next week.